everything right, it was you and me.
Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Nayeema and it's been a while. It has been like literally 4 weeks since we last spoke. If you guys are following me on Instagram, I've been posting a lot there, but it took me a while to get back into the groove of filming again, make myself do a final push, and now I'm here and I'm so excited to talk to you guys. Expect to be sick of me because I will be uploading so much now, especially in November when I go home for fall break, and then again in December when I am home for winter break. So yeah, expect a lot of content. I'm very excited. Because I've been gone for so long, I did not do a September wrap up or an October wrap up, so that's what today is, basically a recent reads. In September I read 1 book, so I couldn't even really film a wrap up if I wanted to. We're gonna talk about all of that. I actually read a few books in October, which shocked me. I have never read less than 5 books a month, so that was like a big shock to me. Like, I'm always reading, so I don't know, it was weird. It's a weird month. September was weird, a lot was going on with school. October was a little bit more tame, and November's already off to a great start because it's November 3rd and I already read a book, but you're gonna have to stay tuned to my November wrap up to see what it was. But yeah, let me know what you guys have been reading in the comments down below. I want to know all of the tea. I feel like I just disconnected completely from the YouTube community, but on Instagram I know everybody's been reading and it's probably the same, honestly. Without further ado, let's get into the books that I read in September and October. So the one and only book that I read in September was actually a J.K. novella, and that was An Innocent Obsession. I rated this book 4 stars, and honestly, I'm gonna be so honest with you, I do not remember. I think it was this girl, and oh my, I can't. This is another reason why I haven't been filming, because it is so fucking loud here. Like, I can't have no peace and quiet. Yeah, I think it's about this girl. She has I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. Anyways, we have this girl, don't remember her name, but she is obsessed and in love with her boss. So she's actually in charge of like cleaning his house, and they have never interacted. But like in her room at home, she literally has pictures of him all on the wall. She has like newspaper clippings of him everywhere. When her friend, I think, and she also works at like his business, but like does some type of like copying or something like that, something really irrelevant where they don't even interact. When her friend is like sick or on vacation or something like that, who works at the office, she asked her to fill in the spot, and she's like, this is my opportunity, this is my chance, because I'm finally gonna interact with him. And this book was just over the top, like J.K. novellas are. She was so obsessed, and then he became obsessed with her when he finally noticed her, and it was a fun little time. I gave it 4 stars. That was the one book that I read in September. I love when people are obsessed, and this was great. And honestly, it's kind of a bit of like a little reverse, because I usually feel like I read the most of when the heroes are obsessed, but this girl was batshit obsessed with this guy. Okay, this video is actually going to be a lot shorter than I thought, because I only read 4 books. Not only, that was still a good amount, but I read 4 books in October. So the first book that I read in October was Savage Urges by Suzanne Wright, and this is the Phoenix Pack book number 5. It's a great series. I will pick up like the next book in the series whenever I'm just in the mood for a little werewolf romance. I love werewolf romances. Also, let me know if you guys have any good werewolf romances in the comments down below, because I feel like fall just reminds me of them for some reason, and I haven't really been able to find that many good ones. I rated this book 3.5 stars. The first 2 books in the series were amazing, show-stopping, beautiful, but the other books have kind of fallen flat for me. The heroine is a lone wolf. She basically left her pack when she was very young, and she started working at this kind of like lone shifter shelter, where basically, because it's really unsafe for you to just be like alone, not with a pack. She started working with this girl who has a shelter, and basically all types of shifters come there, like bears and like, I don't know, iguanas, like just random animals that shift. They all live at the shelter if they are alone, and so she kind of runs it. She works there. She's pretty content alone. Sometimes she does miss like having a pack, but she's pretty content being an independent person. So one day she's at home and she hears someone outside of her door, and this person is like a teenager, super young, werewolf shifter, and it looked like he was running from someone. She kind of like helps him out. She's like, hey, like, where's your pack? And he's like, I'm never going back to my pack, like, I'm done. And she's like, well, I I have a place for you at the shelter. So he reluctantly accepts. He has very hard trust issues, but her goal is to get him in a pack. So she starts doing research, finding out who his pack is, and turns out he has an uncle in the Phoenix pack. His father is brothers with 𝓼𝓸𝓬𝓬𝓪, who is like one of the enforcers, I believe, of the Phoenix pack. McKenna is trying to help the nephew join the Phoenix pack, and it's a romance between Ryan and McKenna. They are both very independent, kind of distrustful people, and they have to work together to make his nephew feel safe and comfortable at the Phoenix pack. And romance ensues. These are mates. It's pretty good. I rated it 3.5 stars, so it was a little bit better than fine for me. But yeah, I miss the first 2 books in the series so much because like I just have not been loving the other books. So I definitely need your werewolf shifter romances in the comments that you love and adore, because I'm kind of getting sick of this series, and this one was just kind of fine. The next book I read was a bit different for me, and it was I'm Glad My Mom Died by 𝓬𝓦𝓤𝓬𝓪. I got the audiobook off of Audible, and I heard like a little clip of it on TikTok, and I was like, ooh, I'm curious. So I wanted to listen to it. I was like a big fan of Victorious and iCarly and all the Nickelodeon and Disney shows. So I was intrigued, and honestly, this book was a complete masterpiece. I loved it so much. 𝓬𝓦𝓤𝓬𝓪 went through like just so much. Her mom, ooh, I can't imagine. And it was just really insightful. I felt really bad for her, and it's crazy. And it started to make me think that like other Nickelodeon people and other child actors should come out with memoirs, and I really would just am curious to know what it was like growing up in the limelight, and did they really want to do it? Because when you start so young, it's like, do you as a individual want to, or is somebody else pushing you to do it? Talks a lot about eating disorder, so trigger warnings for that. It's manipulation and just craziness, but it was amazing, and I rated it 5 stars. I literally have no words, but it was great. Like, it was so interesting, and the audiobook was really good too. I would totally read something else from 𝓬𝓦𝓤𝓬𝓪 if she came out with other books, because I thought her writing was really great as well. The next book that I read, one of my favorite books of the entire year, and I like literally cannot get enough of this book, of this world. I cannot wait for the next books to come out. I'm so excited. The next book that I read was Heartless by Elsie Silver, and this is the 2nd book in her Chestnut Spring series, and it was phenomenal. Elsie Silver, literally, whenever I'm feeling like maybe I should accept less than what I deserve, I read one of her books. She knocks me right back into place. Like, I love her books. Her men are just such gentlemen, like just go to the end of the earth to make their women happy, and I just love her writing so much, and I need to read her first series because these books like literally have such a special place in my heart. So Heartless follows this girl named Willa, and she is the best friend of the heroine in the first book, and she's kind of looking for work. She's kind of like a little bit lost. She used to be a bartender at her brother's bar, but it's currently like shut down for like renovations or something like that. She misses her best friend Summer and their Sunday brunches and just being super close to her. And so Summer has a solution. Cade, who is the brother of the hero from Flawless, he is looking for a nanny. He's a single dad, and he works a lot. He works on this ranch, and he just works a lot, and it's hard to always be there to take care of his son. So he's in desperate need of a nanny, and none of these nannies are working out. It is a small town romance, so it's like everybody knows of Cade, and everybody wants to be his nanny, but for the wrong reasons, and he is sick of it. So Summer suggests that Willa become Cade's nanny. And it's such a cute meet cute in this because they don't know that Willa is about to become his nanny, and they meet at this coffee shop, and it was so cute and so funny. I just loved it so much. And there's a little bit of hate. I don't want to say hate, but dislike, because Cade isn't 100% sure about Willa. Is she even like capable of doing this job? And Cade is also just like a very grumpy asshole who is business, no fun. And so they don't really get off on the right foot at first, but it is so good. I loved Willa's relationship with Cade's son. I read a lot of nanny romances where I just feel like, this could have been developed better between like the relationship of the kids and the nannies, but this one was literally magic. So cute, so funny, so much tension. Like I will never get over the tension in this book. And also it was hot as hell, like just so hot. Please read 𝓿𝓲𝓬𝓬𝓪 if you have not already. I loved Flawless and Heartless, and I am literally biting on my nails to get the next. I think there's gonna be maybe 3 more books or 2. I wonder if the dad gets a book. But also the vibes in here are just like so unmatched. They all live on this ranch. There's like the main house where the dad lives. Summer and Jet live in like another house on this ranch, and then Kate's with his son live in this one house, and Willow moves in. She becomes like the live-in nanny. It is just so cute, so good, and hilarious. Like I'm in awe of 𝓿𝓲𝓬𝓬𝓪. She's definitely a new favorite author of mine, and I need to read her other books like ASAP. And then the last book that I read in October was another 𝓫𝓲𝓬𝓬𝓲 novella, and this one I believe came out in October, so it is, I think, probably her newest book, and it is As If I Wouldn't Fall. And you guessed it, it's another obsession crazy book, and I ate it up. My friend Em was texting me and she was like, guess what I'm reading right now? And she kind of got me into 𝓫𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓲. Like she randomly picked up like a big boy series book and a book in that series, and I read it and became obsessed. This book has breeding kink, obsession, I want to say a little bit of stalking, like obsession where it's like you're unwell and you need to get help, like that type of level of obsession, which is honestly the only type of obsession I will tolerate. But yeah, this one was great. So it's basically 2 students, they're in high school since freshman year. I think they're seniors now. Since freshman year of high school, the hero laid eyes on the heroine and he became obsessed with her, like so obsessed he can barely breathe or think straight when she's around. But they have never spoken or interacted until their senior year. The heroine gets into like a car accident, and the hero actually owns or works at like a mechanic shop type thing. So she brings her car over and he's like, hi, and like just so in awe that she is in his presence and that they're speaking. And she always has noticed how he is always staring at her, how he's kind of telling everyone else to stay away from her, but she's like confused because it's like, if he likes me so much, why doesn't he speak to me? And it's because his love for her is just more than dates and words and this and that. Like he wants to get this girl pregnant. Like like it is so bizarre to me, but I loved it so much. I think I rated it 5 stars. 5 stars. Like I loved it. I don't know why I loved it, I just did. Honestly, you cannot beat a good obsession novel by 𝓫𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬 overall like so bizarre and crazy, and you just have to know that before going in. Like, this is not real world, this is not real life, but it is fun as hell to read about. So yeah, I gave that one 5 stars. So those were the 5 books that I read in September and October. Hopefully I get back into the reading group a little bit more. I recently have been doing like the 3 modes of reading method. So I have like an ebook, a physical book, and an audiobook going at all times. So I have high hopes for November. I'm hoping to read a lot more. Also, you guys, do not forget to tell me what you guys have been reading and loving in the comments down below. I would love to know. I would love to add them to my TBR. This year has been a bit tough for reading for me because I just haven't found books that consistently found books that I have loved. Except for Heartless and Flawless. I love those books. But yeah, so let me know. Let me know what are your top books that I need to read before 2022 is over, because we're almost done, guys. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I love you guys all so much. Make sure you're following me on Instagram so that if I disappear again, you can stay up to date with me. I'm so sorry about that. Also, your DMs were just so sweet, asking if I'm okay and when I'm coming back. I just got really busy. So yeah, love you guys so much, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye.
If I got one thing right, it was you and me.